If you're watching my channel for the first time, welcome and thank you for tuning in. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe, like now. Grab yourself a cup of tea and let's get started talking about how we are coping in lockdown. It's been a while since I've been in front of the camera, so obviously I'm a bit nervous. And secondly, I don't think I have a structured idea of what exactly I'm going to be talking about. But yeah, I'm going to be telling you how I have been coping through this lockdown period. But first things first, I want to send my condolences and my deepest sympathies to everyone who has lost a loved one, someone close to them, a friend, to this virus. I pray that you find it's really difficult to talk about it. I don't even know what to tell you, but I pray that you heal with time. I know the gap that this virus has left for a lot of people is not one we can fill, and the fact that you're being isolated from the people who should be supporting you at this very, very trying time in your life makes it even worse. I hope that talking about coping during the situation brings you a bit of comfort and gives you an idea of, say, a couple of things that you can do to get yourself, to keep yourself going. So for me, I'm just going to jump right into it. This lockdown period has been a very, very challenging time for me. For those of you who have watched my videos before, you know that I talk very, very openly about my struggle with depression, social anxiety, and knowing that I cannot go out and connect with the people that I normally connect with freely on regular basis, who support me and help me cope, made it even worse. My family is all the way on the other side of the city and I really can't reach them. So the best we can do is talk through phone. But I found I've devised very healthy coping mechanisms during this last couple of weeks. And I find that where they have placed me in how I feel about the whole situation, how I am dealing with it, and how I am making sure that I stay productive during this lockdown. I find they have been very, very helpful. They In the beginning, of course, I struggled like everyone would. I was very stressed. I was very anxious. I was worried about how my family on the other side would cope. I was worried about how I was going to be able to provide and make ends meet. And yeah, I must say it has been trying, very, very trying on my patience. But I'm happy to let you all know that some of the coping mechanisms and the habits that I decided to cultivate during this time have worked. I took on a couple of practices, daily practices, that help me discover myself on a deeper spiritual level. I have been doing a lot of self-awareness practices. I've been meditating. I have been doing yoga with Adrienne, bless her heart. That her content is just next level. I just enjoy being able to practice with someone who understands the practice so well and explains it and guides you through it so seamlessly. If you want to do yoga, if you want to start yoga, I would definitely recommend, visiting her channel and, practicing with some of the lessons that she has put on there. So, talking about my coping experience during this lockdown. In the beginning, I thought I was okay. I really, really thought I was okay. And turns out I wasn't. Of course, on the outside, I was, trying to stay upbeat, trying to stay positive. But then my skin started to break out. I don't know if you see there's a couple of dark spots on my face, but I had a breakout on this whole area. My forehead, my jawline, my skin looked terrible. If I had pictures and I could put them here, I would. But I decided to delete all those pictures because, yeah, I didn't really want to look at all that negativity. No. But look at me now. I am glowing. So I'm really, really happy with the progress that I've made the last couple of days. Of course, I had to make big changes. I had to make big decisions. I had to cut off so many things in my life. I had to cut off so many things in my life that did really bring me joy. And yeah, it was difficult. It was very, very difficult, but it had to be done. The one thing I did not want to happen when this lockdown ended was for me to find myself in the same place I was before the lockdown began. I took this as an opportunity to spend time with myself, to get to know myself better. Now that, the office public socialization structure had been removed, it gave me a lot of time to myself. It allowed me to do things. It allowed me to push myself a bit harder than I usually do. Most of the times when you're in an extremely social setting, you tend to go with the crowd. You tend to look to the crowd for direction. But this time around, I had to look to myself for direction. And boy, oh boy, we got lost. we struggled. We struggled. I'm sorry. These lights are really, really hot. But yeah, I realized that as much as I tell people, as much as I'm very, very vocal about my independence, as much as I'd like to identify as someone who has a mind of her own, this lockdown phase taught me the opposite. It taught me a lot about myself, and it also showed me a lot of the toxic traits that I've been having and practicing normally and not even noticing when I do them. And it has also showed me how these toxic traits have held me back in my life. So 4 weeks ago, I just decided that I am going to go through a level up phase. Like level up, level up, level up, level up, level up, man. Yep, I decided that I was going to level up. And of course, for me to level up, so many changes had to be made. However drastic, however uncomfortable they had to be made. Ooh, my hair looks good. If you guys saw me in the last video and you notice my hair, this growth makes me happy. Makes me so happy. But I digress. So I was talking about leveling up. I realized that I struggle with so much when it comes to my career, when it comes to expressing myself, when it comes to taking credit, when it comes to pushing myself to do more, when it comes to being creative and productive while I am by myself. And I also noticed that I needed to get to know myself better, not just like outward, but I needed to dive deeper into my thoughts. I needed to find time and just be alone with my thoughts and process them, however uncomfortable that was. So I decided to practice meditation, and boy, oh boy. Back in the day, I used to say that meditation was like a bougie thing for people who had a lot of time on their hands. Also, time is something that I realize it's what you make. It's not, because I realized that I'd given people so much power over me. I had no control over what I did with my time. And this lockdown has taught me to take control of my time. So I was doing meditation and I realized that there's so much toxicity in me that has been holding me back. I realized that I could also not sit with my thoughts for more than 5 minutes. How many of you are like that? Raise your hands if you can sit with your thoughts. So I didn't really pay attention to the benefits of meditation, but now I do. And I've gotten to spend so much time just in my mind, processing things, redirecting my attention, exercising the muscles in my mind. God, it's like a whole workout. There was a time I sat for meditation for 30 minutes and I came out sweating. Like my whole body was doing a full rigorous workout. But like training your attention, the attention muscle is not easy. Jesus, it's not easy. I realize that my attention span, I easily lose focus. Like I will digress. My mind will skip from one thing to another every now and then. So I needed to cultivate that focus, and meditation has been helping me do that a lot. The other thing is yoga. I don't even want to get into the details of it because man, boy, oh boy, I can stretch. Okay, back here. But yeah, I realize that workouts can be a space where you get to calm down, a space where you get to love yourself, other than inflict pain. So I've been kinder to myself. I've been more positive, and the whole experience has just been so surreal for me, because the effects of the benefits of all this, I realize that I am more productive, one, and I'm happier, brighter. But yeah, I'm giving it more time. Let me see how my life will have changed if I just continue with this for the next 6 months. This is a challenge for me. I'm going to do this for the next 6 months and see how much change I can amass, how much growth I can amass. This is exciting. But yeah, I realized that there was a lot of things that I've been struggling with that I wasn't really paying attention to. And so I took time off just for me. I usually take about 2 hours in the morning just focusing on me. And during that time, I've, say, gone out for a run. I've done my morning yoga. I have sat down and had my meditation. I have, had some skincare going on. Do a scrub, do a steam, just moisturize, take care of my hair, read something, a passage, do anything that just grows me. I also decided to cut off a lot of people and things. Toxic people and things that were not helping me grow, that were affecting my productivity. I realized an instant change. There's things that you cut off from your life and you don't even miss. And these days I just question myself, and I'm like, so what exactly was I doing with this person? Or what exactly was I doing consuming this, and yet it does not benefit me? And now that I'm not consuming it anymore, I feel like I am more alive. I feel like there's more purpose to me. Cut off those toxic people. If it doesn't feed you, do not feed it. Do not water it. Do not give it attention. It will die if you don't give it attention. But yeah. So I want to conclude and ask if there's something that you've been doing during this lockdown that has helped you cope, that has had a positive impact on your mental health, that has helped you grow, please feel free to share in the comment section below. It could help someone who is struggling to cope during this time. if it is a habit, if it is a practice, something that someone else can replicate and do. um Last but not least, I want to talk about a project that I'm so passionate about, that I have really worked on this lockdown, and I know it will benefit a lot of girls, so many girls. My target is to start with 1,000 girls in Uganda, help them access free menstrual um, management essentials. So I'll leave a link in the description below for a space where you can donate. If you are working, say, on a project that helps girls manage their menstruation, helps them gain access to menstrual products, feel free to also leave it in the comment section below. Let's work together to end menstrual poverty. By the way, menstruation doesn't stop for pandemics. Girls menstruate every month. Even worse, during this very, very stressful situation, I noticed that the times when I was really, really stressed during this lockdown, I was having my menstrual periods twice a month. And I cannot imagine for the girl who is somewhere in a slum, who cannot access the essentials to manage her menstruation, cannot afford to be hygienic, and that comes with a lot of infection. I feel like women's issues when it comes to menstruation has totally been ignored. No one pays attention to them. No one is fighting for the fact that no one is fighting for pads to be made free. And the thing is, menstruation is a natural process. We do not have control over it. So I don't understand why corporations are looking to profit from it. I just don't understand that phenomenon. Like, you will go to an office and find condoms for free, but it is very, very difficult for women to access emergency menstrual essentials to help them just continue with their day. I feel like not the required amount of attention is not being given to this. I mean, we talk about keeping girls in school, and yet the one thing that really, really affects them the most is not being handled. I mean, we can push girls to stay in school all we want, but when girls reach menstruation age and they are frustrated by the fact that they cannot manage their periods, they're obviously going to drop out of school. And for many African countries, this is a time when they start planning for the girl to get married, which is not fair, because some girls start menstruating as early as the age of 11 or 10. So you find that this is a factor for many girls being forced into child marriages because, one, their parents cannot afford to buy them the essentials. So they marry them off, and so that some other guy can take care of them because they cannot afford to give her the essentials that she needs as she grows. You also find that there is not enough education in schools to teach boys what menstruation really is. And you also realize that a lot of fathers don't understand menstruation. So when girls go and ask them for money to buy these essentials, they don't understand it. And so it's very, very difficult for them to provide towards something they don't understand. We need to end the stigma surrounding periods. We need to teach boys and help them understand, and not to shame girls who are going through their periods. When you see a girl who has a stained skirt, there's no point laughing at them. The reason why the boys laugh and make the girls feel bad is because they're ignorant. So we need to open up when it comes to the discussion surrounding periods. We need to educate the society, and we need to prioritize the needs of these girls when they start to menstruate. Give them the information that they need, give them the support that they need so they can cope. With that said, I'm going to leave a link below. You can donate to the Pad Share community. Also visit our pages. Share with us the information that you have. If you know of any funding initiatives that we can apply for, because I am looking at making sure that this service is available to girls in every corner of the world. access to menstrual essentials is a right, is a fundamental human right. It's not a privilege. So, thank you very much for tuning in. Do not forget to subscribe. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Turn on your notification buttons. I promise, I swear, this time around, I'm going to be posting 2 videos every week. I promise. I know I've been on and off, and I'm really, really sorry to my subscribers. There's been a lot that's been happening in my life recently, and as we go along, I am going to be letting you know what those are. A lot of the times I've been focusing on building products like Pad Share, so I've put a lot of time in that because these are issues that matter to me. These are things that I want to focus on. I've also been focusing on building products that focus on mental health because these are the things that affect me. And I know for sure that I'm not the only one affected by these things. So in the next video, I'm going to be telling you about my experience and my struggles with menstrual poverty. I don't just build these things because I think it is, something the society needs, so it will look good on me to offer a solution. I build these things because I have experienced these challenges. I know how frustrating it is not to be able to sit in an office during a very crucial meeting and feel uncomfortable because one, your period just started and you cannot cope. You don't feel so confident, and the facilities in your office do not give you there's not a lot of support in your office space. You cannot access the products that you need to access to help you come back, and just it's really, really frustrating. And the worst thing is the way our infrastructure is set up. Women have been neglected so much. So if you want to hear more about what I'm working on, what my passion projects are, subscribe. About the music, of course, I'll be sharing those as well. I've been working on a whole album. So yeah, there will be music coming in very, very soon.